What's going on, everyone? My name's Tim. This is Tim's Perspective, and I have a big old box here from Braum seats. I'm super excited to check these out. I've been waiting months for them. Let's go ahead and open up this box and see how they look. And I want to use the heavenly music and the light coming out of the box, but I've already done that. Actually, pull them out. Okay, they feel really nice. And okay, yeah, those look awesome. These look real nice. Got my girl rocking the Braum sponsor hat. I believe that every good car part needs to pass the girlfriend test. She's got to like it. So how do you feel about these compared to the stock seats?
They're really comfy, and I'm glad I made you pick these ones.
I like them a lot better. I wanted to get the Elite X. I'll put a picture up. And then she made me get these, and I like them so much better. So I'm really glad. So it's a little bit later, and I've been working on putting these seats together. I had to attach the rails. I'm about to have to attach the brackets to the rails. One little tip I do have, though, is with this piece, when you're putting on the little move piece, or I don't know what to call it, this little piece here, one thing you can do is put it in on one side, and I actually zip tied this side into place so it couldn't move, and then this was way easier because you kind of have to bend it into place. So I really recommend doing that. Now I'm gonna put the brackets on, and then we'll put them in the car.
What was that noise?
I was wondering if I jumped off if I could fly away. Kinda like Superman.
You can't though.
So now I've had these seats in for about 2 weeks, so I've gotten some pretty good literal seat time with them. I've gotten to take them on some longer, shorter drives, take them in traffic, around the city, around some curves. Let's talk about what it's like to have them in, what it's like to daily drive with them, my thoughts, feelings, complaints. Let's go ahead and get into it and take them for a drive. So my first thought is let's talk about the installation. That's the very first thing. Very easy, except for one complaint that can be very easily fixed. They don't really have much of any instructions, so what you're going to be doing, it seems like, is looking at YouTube videos and trying to figure out what most people do for your specific vehicle. And I'm not going to say it's really that hard, because it's literally just bolting the seats into rails and then the rails to the brackets, but it would be nice to have some kind of help, even if it's just a marker of the orientation of this goes with this, because I did get a little bit backwards because I wasn't paying the best attention. Now, once you go ahead and get the seats in, one thing I do need to still attend to is I do have an airbag light right now, because these seats stock do have side airbags and these obviously don't. So I do need to figure out some way to turn that light off, but I'm sure I'll get to that at some point. But anyways, once you go ahead and get them into the car, now let's talk about the build quality. As you can see, these are really well made. Not only do they look gorgeous, but you can just tell that these are super well constructed with great materials. There's no loose threads, there's no fraying, everything is super well made, and you can tell that they really were intentional about building a good product. And I really like that, because to be honest, you do get what you pay for to some extent with seats, and these are a little bit more expensive, so I expected to see some pretty high quality, and even still, my expectations were pretty blown away. So now first, let's talk about what most people are going to want a more racing style seat for, and that's going to be for track time or more spirited driving. And for that, these do amazing. Because of the way this bolstering is set up, whether I'm going around some corners and trying to take those hard, or whether I'm doing some pulls, these really do a great job of just holding me in and making sure that I feel planted in my seat. With that, one big change that I absolutely love is going to be the seating position. You actually sit at least, I'd say, 2 or 3 inches lower to the ground in the seat, just because there's not the seat heater, there's not the airbag, there's not all those wires and the rails and the electronics. They're able to bring the seat a lot lower to the ground and still manage to have a little bit more padding. So now let's talk about that, and that's going to be the daily drivability of these seats. Because even though this car is kind of show built to an extent with bags and a lot of carbon fiber and such, it is still a daily driver for me, and I still try to take it pretty much everywhere I go. So with that, These are really, really comfortable. I've taken these on some longer highway drives and I've had no problem spending 2 or 3 hours in it super easily. Everyone in my city like doesn't know how to drive. It's really odd. So overall, I have no problems daily driving these. They're super comfortable and they still hold you in, but since you can recline and you have the rails to move them around, it's not quite the struggle of having a full-on racing seat with a fixed back where you feel like you're just kind of stuck in a full-on race car mode all the time. I can adjust these to lean back a little more if I feel the need. Super easy. I really like it. So overall, I'm super happy with them. They are a little bit more on the expensive side, but again, you do kind of get what you pay for, and these are so beautifully built. Every little detail of these is perfectly thought out, and the design of this is just super amazing. So you kind of do get what you pay for. These seats are sold out right now, I believe. They were a pretty limited edition run, and I'm not sure if or when they're going to come back. But I'm very happy I pulled the trigger when I did, and I would very highly recommend checking out Braum seats. Now let's answer the final question, which I think is going to be, is it worth it, or why would it be worth it or not for the average Mustang owner? And I'm going to say, to me, I'm super happy with these. They're absolutely worth it to me, and I really enjoyed them. That's a nice sounding SRT. I would say if you use your heated seats or live in a place where that's really an issue at all. I'm in Northern California where it never gets cold, so I really barely ever use them. So if that's a concern, keep that in mind, but for me it really wasn't. Another thing you want to keep in mind is if you like sitting up higher, you might want to stick with your stock seats. To me, a big part of this was the fact that I can sit so much lower and get the seating position I want, but I know not every single person is gonna want to sit super low and have that full-on race car kind of feel, and a lot of people, especially for a daily, which a Mustang tends to be, are gonna want a more reasonable, easier to get in and out of experience. I'm not gonna say it's super hard to get in and out of, but let's just say I've probably made a few grandpa sounds getting out of this car here and there. But if you feel overall like those stock Mustang seats don't hold you in quite well enough, or that you want an aesthetic upgrade, that you might want to sit lower, all of those may be some reasons that you might want to look into upgrading to some Braums. I highly recommend them. Their customer service is fantastic, and I'm really thankful I got to work with them. Full disclosure, I did get a sponsorship from them, and that means they did help me out with these seats with a discount, but I still spent my own hard-earned money on them, and I still chose out which ones I wanted, and I'm still super happy with them, and I'd still do it again. So don't think just because I have a sponsorship from them that I'm told what to say, the things to include. I've been told, give my honest thoughts and just talk about the seats a little bit, and I'm more than happy to do that because these things are just really cool, and they're probably one of the most standout features of my car at this moment, so I really like it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video though. That's pretty much all I have to say about these. I'm about to go film the interior cinematic that you probably just watched, so I hope you guys liked that. Leave a comment down below what else you guys would like to see me talk about or do to the car, and I'll definitely try to take a look at it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Adios.